But what was very clear to me in that experience was that it wasn't genetic at all. It was actually triggered by the fact that I did not feel comfortable in my own skin. And prior to that, I was a very outgoing child. We had lived in Italy for about 10 months, and I really felt loved. I really felt accepted. I felt like I could express myself in whatever way that I needed to express myself in. But when I came to Australia, all of that got shut down, and I just actually didn't know who I was, who I was meant to be. I definitely did not feel comfortable in my own skin. And so that became very clear to me that the whole psoriasis was caused for me in that scenario by that, or triggered by it. So, I do believe that we have, when people say genetics, we essentially have the capacity to become sick based on the fact that we're much more prone to that
Hmm.
particular ailment, but we don't have to. So I feel like, it really depends so much on what's happening in your life and how you process it as well. So to me, it was quite a shock to come from a place where I was accepted and loved into the complete and utter opposite of that. My brother was a lot younger, so he didn't have the same experience in that sense. So as I acknowledged this, and I really allowed myself to feel, I really allowed myself to cry and work through this. The next thing that occurred was that I realized that my back pain was very much connected to a variety of aspects of. I didn't feel that my parents were in an enormous constant conflict over the time where I started getting back pain, which was around 14 to 15. They were so at each other's throats, so to speak, that it was very difficult to be in the house. They were constantly fighting, to actually express to them, that I changed schools by then, and that there was a very different type of experience that I was going through. I could now speak English, so that wasn't the issue. But the issue was that this was a private school. Most of the people in the private school, besides me and my friends who came from Eastern Europe, had come from extremely wealthy households, and they did not like having us there, and so they bullied us from a very, very different perspective.